Final Fantasy. Just the name alone evokes memories. Unforgettable music, iconic characters, epic battles. But today, many fans, myself included, feel like the saga is drifting away from its essence. Is this really what Final Fantasy has become? A string of flashy action sequences that sometimes prioritize spectacle over depth? In this video, I want to share with you why, in my opinion, the series would benefit greatly from returning to its roots. We'll go over several points together in this video, but as always, I'm counting on you to share your thoughts with me. Some of you will agree, others won't, and some will probably bring up points I hadn't even considered. But we all share one thing in common: our love for this franchise. Welcome to this new video. I'm John, your host for this editorial on the Gamers Corner channel. If you enjoy our content, don't hesitate to subscribe and support us. Let's start with our first topic: turn-based combat, an unfairly outdated idea. Turn-based combat is like a great chess match. It requires thought, anticipation, and allows for creativity. The problem is that it now suffers from poor branding, the image of dated gameplay. But if that were really the case, Expedition 33, Octopath Traveler, and Persona 5 wouldn't have been such hits. These games show that people don't reject turn-based combat. They reject combat that's clunky, slow, and poorly designed. And Final Fantasy has already managed to make turn-based more dynamic. Remember the ATB, Active Time Battle System, or the conditional turn-based system from Final Fantasy X, which relied on each character's stats to determine the turn order? But going forward, we need to push it further. Why not have battles where the terrain actually matters? We're casting meteors, fires, thunders, and ice spells, but the battlefield never really changes. That's something Square Enix could explore. What about weather effects, like giving lightning spells a chaining effect when it's raining, allowing them to spread to multiple enemies instead of just one? Or imagine actions in battle that directly impact the story. Here's an iconic example, one that haunted every fan of the franchise. That time when Cypher one-shots Odin in Final Fantasy VIII? In the middle of the fight, Odin appears at the start of the turn, as usual, ready to use Zentetsuken and end the battle, but instead of delivering the final blow, Cypher kills Odin. It's that kind of moment that creates real impact, changing the story through action, not just dialogue choices, taking risks like permanently losing a summon. Which brings us to the second point: summons, forgotten gods. Summons have become secondary. Pretty animations, yes, but often forgettable.
Yet again, Final Fantasy X showed us a better path. Aeons were playable. They replaced your party and offered true strategic value. It was epic. It was emotional. You could even develop your Aeons, give them their own stats, teach them new magical attacks. For the more advanced players, you could even unlock alternate, overpowered versions of these summons. But in 2025, we need more, and better. Imagine summons with multiple evolving forms based on player choices. Imagine building a narrative bond with your summon. Maybe your summon refuses to answer your call if you betray your values, influenced by decisions made in battle or through interactions with certain characters. Or a dual summon system, where two entities fuse to create a brand new, never-before-seen attack. Summons could become central again, not just visually, but mechanically and narratively. Our third point: storytelling, being a mirror to the world again. The greatest Final Fantasy games told the world's story in their own way. Final Fantasy X criticized religious extremism. Final Fantasy VII exposed the dangers of capitalism and environmental exploitation. Final Fantasy VI spoke of tyranny, rebellion, and loss of identity. Today, when the world is literally and figuratively on fire, why not return to big themes? We could explore religion in the age of extremism and manipulation, a fictional faith that prompts real-world reflection, tackle racial, social, or magical discrimination, like the Black Mages in Final Fantasy IX. Talk about brotherhood and solidarity in a post-collapse world. How do we rebuild bonds? Violence, justified or not. Can we save the world without becoming the very monsters we fight? Handled with nuance, these themes could bring back the emotional, human, and mature dimension the series once had. Fourth point: characters, from cliches to lived experience. Here's another area that needs revitalization: character writing. Today,
we often get stock archetypes: the brooding hero, the energetic girl, the wise mentor who's doomed to die. But old Final Fantasy games gave us more nuance. Vivi in Final Fantasy IX, struggling with the fear of death. Yuna, torn between religious duty and free will. Cloud, battling dissociative identity disorder. We need character arcs that evolve based on player choices. Introduce internal conflict within the group, like in Mass Effect or The Witcher, where characters clash over war, faith, betrayal.
Now to wrap up this video with a final thought. For me, the future of Final Fantasy doesn't lie in 4K graphics or faster action. It lies in the soul of the series, bringing back thoughtful turn-based combat, making summons meaningful again, telling bold, modern stories that challenge and resonate. I'm not asking for a step backward, just a faithful evolution. But what about you? When was the last time a Final Fantasy truly moved you, made you think? Did Final Fantasy 16 or the Final Fantasy 7 remake really speak to you? Or did you feel a void once the credits rolled, like you just played something fun but forgettable? Did you experience something that you knew would stick with you for life? As for me, I can say it clearly. Neither Final Fantasy 16 nor Final Fantasy 7 remake or rebirth had that impact. Not like when I played Final Fantasy 7, 9, or 10 for the first time. I know that those of you listening right now, you get what I mean. I could mention Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI, or Kefka's chilling laugh, and instantly memories would come flooding back. Not just childhood nostalgia, but stories that gripped us. Final Fantasy VI was a true masterpiece. I could talk about Aeris's death in Final Fantasy VII, a defining moment for a whole generation. Or again, Cypher killing Odin in Final Fantasy VIII, when we all thought it was just a regular boss fight. Final Fantasy IX and Vivi, such a deeply lovable character. Or the unforgettable cutscene when Queen Brahne summons Odin to destroy the city of Clara, perched inside a giant tree, an image I'll try to show you. And of course, Yuna's sending dance in Final Fantasy X, and that emotionally charged kiss between Tidus and Yuna. Arguably the most beautiful kiss in all of video game history. Square Enix used to give us unforgettable moments. So I'll ask you one final question. Can you name one iconic scene from Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, or 16? Even though they're good games, do they have that soul? That key moment that, in just a few words, can bring back all the emotion? The goal isn't to bash a beloved franchise. I love this series, and I want it to become again what it once was. A creator of magical moments for the new generation, and for us old-timers too. That's what we're missing today. Now, it's your turn. Tell me what you think. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed my work, this was John for Gamers Corner. See you soon. Ciao.